Hello, what is up, guys? It is Keegan here, and today I'm bringing you guys episode number 9 of the Stuttgart Career Mode. In today's episode, we are going to be starting season 2. This is the team that we have right now, just to keep you guys updated. Mavropanos has gone back to Arsenal, so Anton is in at center back right now, but we will likely be bringing in 2 center backs here, and then having Anton be the 4th center back, which I think will be a very, very good system for us going forward. This is currently the bench. We have Egloff has come back. I think he's just on the bench. We have Maffeo, who's actually come back from loan. He's actually 23. And the thing is, I don't know how much better than Dodo he even is. He's a little bit better at defending, which could help. He's a little taller. We'll put him in there for now and leave Dodo on the bench. Though with the Europa League, we are going to be rotating a lot more this season, so you're going to see a lot more players coming in and out of the team. Otherwise, the front 4, I kind of want to remain intact for now. I could see Frank moving into the central midfield positions at some point in time. Oh no, they're set up to be like this. Okay. But I think the main priority for this season is getting wamangituka to an 80 overall, I think is what we really need to do. He had a great season, but his overall really isn't going that high. Position-wise, on where we need to improve, I really don't think we need to improve in many areas in the starting 11, besides that central defender position. It's mainly going to be about making sure the bench is full of players. We don't have a third striker right now, which is kind of an issue going into the Europa League. If we get an injury, we're kind of screwed. So that's something we're going to be looking at, and then we need a better attack midfielder on the bench here. Now let's take a look at who I have in the transfer hub to pick up. We'll order it by position. So a backup goalkeeper or a goalkeeper we can work on improving, I think is something we can look at. Linde, I think, will be about 75, 76, if that's a position we want. And then I have 2 goalkeepers who are actually from the free agents. This guy looks very, very good. Jonathan Martial, as kind of a goalkeeping prospect for the future. It looks like Lamana. This is another free agent I found who looks very good. It looks like he'd be a central defender. But I picked out, a few new squad players throughout in a bunch of positions. So we'll take a look at them later. But let's look at the overall first, and let's see the players I'm looking to bring in. Now, Julian Brandt is not a player for this season, surely. But he's a player I'm looking at in the future if we want to take that next step. While Frank is going to be that main cam, he can come in and maybe play on the left, on the right, or even play at striker. We can train him to be that because he has a center forward. It'll make it a little bit easier. So he's a player that I'm looking for and saying if we're going to start to be moving to that next level, he's a player I want. Players for this season, Kosh is going to be my primary signing along with Mavropanos. Let's really shore up that central defender position and make sure we don't have to worry about it at least for 2 seasons. Twen Zabi was a player that was suggested, but I think I'm just going to remove him. I think Robin Koch will be the best player to go with there, and I think Sturziu just not something we're going to be looking for. Guendouzi is another player I was thinking about bringing in. I know he's getting a little older, and Guendouzi is getting to the point where, I hit the wrong button. He's getting to the point where if we don't get him now, he's going to be too expensive. He's already almost our entire budget, which we'll see in a minute. But that might have to be a next season signing. And then I have a few other players. This guy, I don't know why I added him. I think he might be okay overall. I thought it'd be younger, but we'll just remove him. Players I was looking to bring in, Florian de Silva. We didn't get to use him in the League Career Mode because he was just added to FIFA. He could be a player who could come in on the bench. We might be able to grow him. I'd be interested in trying him out or maybe save him for another career mode. And then I have a bunch of players who are generated players who hopefully can be good. We'll see what those players look like in a minute. The transfer budget we have right now is 50 million euros and a pretty hefty wage budget. So enough to certainly bring in Kosh and Mavropanos. Past that, we'll have to see how we do in the preseason tournament. All right, first quick sim of the preseason tournament. We've taken a 1-1 draw against Monaco. Good results so far. Good way to start this preseason tournament. That's the toughest team, and that is definitely a good omen going in and our chance to progress. Just going to make sure none of these free agent players have been signed yet. Got to take a kind of real hard look at that. We're not going to get their values just yet, but we're getting close. Wow, this is a 6'6" defender. That's actually insane. He was that Australian defender was one of the players I was really looking at in terms of an improvement. And if he's really good, it would mean we wouldn't have to get Mavropanos. And we beat Newcastle here, and that's what I say. If we draw Monaco, we should be good the rest of the way, and that's what it looks like so far. We'll sim up to the Istanbul game, and then we'll take a look at the free agents that we have just to see if we have any information on them here. So we know, all right, we're getting some values, and they're all here. All right, let me see this guy. All right, he's not that high rated value-wise. 2 million for this goalkeeper. All right, they're both 2 million. All right, looks like Jovanovic might be good. Okay, the values of these players aren't insanely high. Not as high as I would have expected. So we're not really that pressed if they get picked up. We'll just quick sim this game. And another draw, but that should easily see us through to the next round of this competition, especially with the Monaco and Newcastle draw. And then we have some transfer offers here and stuff, and we've got the final scout reports on all of those players, which is going to be huge. A lot of those players do have potential here. It looks like Lyon have actually paid the release clause for Sosa. And it looks like he's going to try to get out here. I'm going to see if we can re-sign him to a new contract. I did not know he had a release clause. Looks like Maffeo has a transfer offer here. If we're going to lose Sosa, I'm actually going to make sure we block this. We can't actually be losing any more players. If that's the case, it's going to be too important to keep our fullbacks. So let me go here. And he submitted a request. Okay, so we can't renew a contract, so he's going to be leaving, actually, which means a left back is going to be of the utmost importance now. But we have the free agents here. Let's see what overall our free agents happen to be. Linde's only 72 overall. That's a lot lower than I thought it would be. This goalkeeper, 68 overall. He's got a high overall, which means high potential. And so we have a 67 overall. Looks like the other players just aren't good enough here. I'm going to just start removing some of these players from the transfer list. This guy actually could be good. I'm going to leave him in there. But this center back just not good enough. The striker just not good enough. And then this guy they're just not good enough. So let's take a look at the goalkeeper situation. I've actually never used our backup goalkeeper. I mean, he's 71 overall. So I think I'm going to replace him actually with this with one of these free agent goalkeepers. We'll put him on the transfer list. And we'll go over to transfers into the transfer hub. And let's sign this free agent goalkeeper. We'll get the one with the 5-star weak foot. Seems to be a little bit better a business there. We'll put him as a prospect. Seems to be a little bit better business to get the one that has the higher weak foot. Better for playing out of the back and such like that. He wants a 5-year contract. That is fine. No release clause. That is fine as well. And let's just give him $3,000 a week. Should be able to get the deal done and over the line. And yes, it will. Jonathan Martial, our first signing of the season, is a new goalkeeper to sit on the bench. Kobo will likely be our goalkeeper for the entirety of this series, but it is nice to make sure we have some players who are who can definitely improve on the position. And if we play him in maybe the Europa League games a few times, give him some cup games, we might be able to shoot his overall up to maybe the mid-70s, and then we can have a really reliable two-goaltender tandem. Now, let's take a look at the other players that we have here on the free agents. We can remove this Linde guy. We don't need him now. De Silva, obviously not someone we want to go for anymore, and we don't need that other goalkeeper. So I think Robin Koch is the first player I want to sign. Oh, Jovanovic looks like he could be a very, very quality player as well. Now let's go in for Robin Koch first. He is my main target for this summer window. See if we can't get him in. Actually, let me do see if I can get a player swap here with some of the center backs I don't plan on using. Stenzel could be a good squad player. He's still kind of young, but I'd rather just get him off the books if we're bringing in another defender. And let's just put 20 million and see if that gets us anywhere. Looks like they want Mangala and 14 million. I'm going to counter that and remove the exchange player. I really don't want to get rid of Mangala this season. I don't think we'll have the money to bring in a Guendouzi. So let's just go for 25 million, see what they have to say. They want 33. Okay. I think we should be able to get him on a little bit cheaper. 27.5. Up it by a little bit, see if they can come down. And they're going to take 27.5 for Robin Koch. This looks like it's going to be a great deal for us. That's a great price for a center back of his quality. He's going to want crucial. Makes perfect sense. He's going to be starting basically every game for us this season. 4-year contract. Nothing wrong with that at all. And then we'll accept the no release clause. We don't have to do a release clause in Germany, so no problem with that. I'm going to give him 70. It's a little bit below what he has now. And that is going to be inflated with the Premier League price. Obviously, we probably could have gone for a little less. But it means we have to worry about his contract. Not this season, but maybe in the future. So let's move Anton to the bench here. Sosa is obviously going to be leaving. But Robin Koch is our first signing this summer. That's not a prospect signing, basically. And we have really improved the defensive situation here. Mavropanos was fine. But Koch is going to be much, much better in this team, I would imagine so. And we have our center back pairing, hopefully for the series. Kempf might have to be replaced at some point, but these guys should do great to start in the central defense for the next 2 seasons. Now, the next signing we have to do, I feel like I want to bring Mavropanos, but we do need to really improve that backup cam position. So I think we should focus on that instead. Looks like my contribution is going up, so they're pretty happy. And it looks like they want us to find a defender, sign defender for the brand exposure. I'm trying to look and see. They want us to reach the semifinal of the Europa League. That is kind of insane. They just want us to sign a youth academy goalkeeper. That's kind of annoying because we just signed a goalkeeper. That's technically not academy. I'm trying to look in here. It looks like these are all players I've already looked at. Alex Milan. All right. Well, let's just sign this Jovanovic guy, a player who will probably be on the bench this season, but someone who looks like he has a lot of quality and could be very, very good for us in the future. We do need a replacement for Endo at some point. So signing these youth style prospects, I think, is very, very important in terms of team building for the future. We'll give him a 5-year contract. Makes it so we don't have to worry about it too much in the future. And then he just wants a very, very basic contract. We'll give him that. And another prospect signing into the team. He comes. For now, I'm going to put him on the bench, actually, given kind of the players we have. We still need to bring in a cam. This Kalemo guy actually does have... Actually, no, it's not this guy. There was someone else I felt who had a higher potential in this team, but he might be out on loan, actually. But now I think we need to bring in that third striker, maybe make Kalajdzic that third striker and bring in maybe a potential better option and that backup cam in this team. All right, we've simmed and we got a win here against Southampton. And it looks like we are on the verge of winning this preseason tournament, which will be very, very awesome. Will be a great start to life here. And Sosa has officially left. And he is gone. We don't have to worry about having him anymore into this team. We'll have to potentially look for a left back at some point. But a problem I'm not really going to focus on just this minute. We got slapped by Monaco in the end. Despite getting the draw in the group stage of this mini competition, we have taken a beating here. Let's take a look. We have a final scouting report for Florian de Silva. Let's go take a look at that, see if that's anything we want to look at. He's 65 overall. Not really something we can do about right now, because he's also not someone we can sign at this moment. If I take a look, so Mavropanos, we could still bring in, convert him to a right back. He can be converted to, but I don't think we want to do that. Looking at the team, I think I just need to find another striker to bring into this team. If I look at it and what I want to do this season, or a striker who could play cam, I have actually the perfect player in mind. Let me add him to the transfer list. The player I had in mind is actually Luka Waldschmidt, a player who can be converted into a cam relatively quickly. It can also be that kind of secondary striker for this team. He would be the perfect player position-wise to fill that need we have with our current budget. So I think I'm definitely going to go for him. We're going to wait just for a little bit to make sure we get the full value we get the full information on his value, but he's going to be, I think, the perfect player to be that backup bench option into this team. He's going to be pretty high overall too, and that's the potential to grow into kind of the mid 80s. But that's going to be very, very important, I think, that we pick a player like him up to fix that position. All right, we have the final scout report for Luka Waldschmidt. Looks like we can get him for about 25, 26 million. I think we're going to be able to get him for 78 overall. That is going to be a huge heist for this team. Hopefully we can get him on important, because if we can't get him on important, we might be not in trouble, but it might be hard to fit him in game time wise into this team. People to keep wanting Mangala. There's nothing I'm going to do that teams are going to be able to convince me of to get rid of Mangala at this point in the season. He is one of the best players in this team coming up. They want a 15% sell-on clause. I think I can accept this, actually. I think it would be a lot, but I don't see us ever really selling Luka Waldschmidt. And if we do, it wouldn't be for like hundreds of millions or anything. So I think that's actually really, really good for us, given the current situation with our team. Let's give him important. He wants crucial. So that means we're going to have to bring him on as a substitute almost every game to make sure that we keep him happy. And that's probably the thing we're going to run into with this team. A lot of players are going to want crucial most of the time. Let's give him 40, see if he accepts that. I think that is probably fair, and that's a reasonable offer, and he will accept that. So Luka Waldschmidt is into the team. We're going to put Forster onto the bench, and then Luka Waldschmidt can come in here. We're going to actually convert him into a cam right away. That's going to be the first position we want to put on him, and he's a player who you can kind of swap positions around very, very quickly due to the fact that he'll have all three, central forward, striker, and cam right here. So it's going to take 6 weeks, but he should get some games in, so that should make it so that doesn't take too long. Now our first game of the season is coming up here. I actually don't know who we are starting the season against here. It looks like we have an offer on loan for Nicholas Narty. He's a player who actually has a really, really good value. His value is actually really high, and he could be a future prospect in this team. So hopefully he comes back, and he's grown a lot on loan and is someone who can potentially grow into something bigger. Looks like a not Bayern Mönchengladbach. I don't know why I keep thinking it's Borussia Mönchengladbach. Gosh, I would say it's early in the morning, but it's the middle of the afternoon. And Narte has been loaned out. So Mönchengladbach is our first game. They've actually got El Shaarawy, actually a player that they've picked up recently, which is going to be big for them. I'm going to take a look at some of the players here that I've seen on the scout come up. I'm looking at potentially Salazar or Adrian Turmo as our third striker option, but that's probably going to be something at this point we look at in the next episode, as we're going to probably finish up this episode with this game against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the league to start off Season 2. And here we are, the first game of the new season. What an exciting start. We have a few of our players that we can probably give a debut here to off the bench, but the main debut, Robin Koch, will be starting in central defense to start this season. Maffeo also technically gets a debut for me in the series, as he's going to draw ahead of Dodo to start this first game in the Bundesliga. This is a team that is going to be probably our best starting 11 for the entire season, unless we make any big signings in January. But given the money we have, I don't think that's going to happen. Let's take a look at the team that Borussia Mönchengladbach are going with. Looks like El Shaarawy is starting on the bench today, and that is a very, very strong team. Thuram, Stindl, Herman, Embolo, Zakaria, and Neuhaus. What a powerful team. Connor Cody somehow is in that team, which kind of makes no sense. I don't know why Connor Cody would come to Mönchengladbach, but it's the first game of the season, and hopefully we can end off this great episode of transfers with a big win to start us off. And there it is, Embolo has scored, and we are down 1-0 here early against Borussia Mönchengladbach. It's been a kind of a difficult start. They have been surely the better team so far, though, and this team honestly, I don't know how they finished below us last season. They were certainly a very, very high quality team, and just weren't able to get the ball off any of these players. Just way too strong and powerful. And Embolo, when he gets in that position, he is not going to miss his opportunities. And how is, oh my lord, and Endo has just let Embolo take the ball off of him. And a very, very poor start to the new season here as Embolo. This is going to be one of those teams that might be, feels like a bogey team at this point. We've had some struggles against them in the past, and Embolo is just that kind of striker. Kosh gets bullied out the ball too easily. The ball bounces off of Maffeo. I'm not sure what he's doing all the way over there. And Endo just should have gotten that, but lets Embolo score. And we are down 2-0. 2 goals in quick succession there. There it is, halftime. 2-0 for Borussia Mönchengladbach. They have certainly played well and deserved this lead. Do not put the stupid trainer on. I am going to kind of make a bit of a aggressive change here, though. We're going to put these in midfield, and it's time to bring Luka Waldschmidt on for his debut. Let's make some space here for him as the second striker and make him a center forward. We're going to go very, very attacking here, and hopefully we can use this to turn our fortunes around in the second half. Oh, wamangituka is through one-on-one with the keeper. He has to beat Sommer here. Yes, he does, first of the season for wamangituka, and the pace on the counter-attack is just too much. Maffeo found I think it was Maffeo who found that perfect ball, and right after halftime, we have made that different run. Actually, it might have been Mangala who made that pass, but an easy finish for wamangituka, and we are right back in this game. All right, an offside goal for the goal ruled out for offside there. Let's see if we can make some changes. I think we're gonna give Jovanovic his kind of first chance here. This formation is about to get really goofy really quickly. Oh man, we'll keep him as the right forward here, and then we'll move Frank in like this into the tag midfielder. Kind of a goofy formation, but it is time to go for it. Give Jovanovic his debut for the team, and hopefully we can pull this draw away from home. Our wamangituka down here. I'm not sure why it went to the CDM, but Luka Waldschmidt is offside. Wow. Our chance to bring it back level, and our 2 new signings would have connected there for a goal. Definitely was not intending to pass it back to the DM when players like Gonzalez are in the box. But this is an intense end to the game here. At least the CDM, I mean, he's 67 overall, but he's had a decent impact since coming on. That has to be offside. It isn't offside. Wow, and they're actually going to get a corner out of El Shaarawy there. I don't think we're going to want to make that change here. No point in doing that. And that is the end of the game and the end of the first episode of the next season. What a crazy game this was, honestly. Did our best to win, but alas, only so much you can do. Applied that, applied the pressure at the end. Just means we got to be better defensively. Take some time to get used to the new back line. But before we end up the episode, I'm going to take a look at these few final players. While I go into check, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Looks like we lost one of the defenders there anyway. And yeah, this guy's just nowhere near good enough. Looks like one of the other players is 66 overall, but he got signed. But that is all I have for today's episode. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, rating, subscribe if you are new to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video. And as always, have a wonderful day.